Are you paying the price in perimenopause? Have you been pushing yourself very hard for years and years and years, whether it's in your career, your business, with your family, or with busyness? If you've been pushing yourself really, really hard for years and years, well, it's probably now that you're paying the price in perimenopause and why you're getting unrelentless symptoms and feeling like a big perimenopausal mess. Now, women that are really busy and career orientated and are working long, hard hours, or maybe you've had loads of personal stress in your life as well, they tend to suffer the most in perimenopause. And the reason why is because the adrenal glands that are pumping out all of these stress hormones all of these years compromise your hormones, particularly progesterone and your thyroid gland. And so you enter perimenopause and midlife with low progesterone and weakened adrenals and thyroid gland in the first place. Hi, I'm Kate Driver. I'm a naturopath and the perimenopause practitioner, and this is why you might be getting symptoms and feeling the way that you do in perimenopause. Now, perimenopause is the time before menopause, and it can be anywhere from 10 years before to a year or two before you go through menopause, which is when your menstruation actually stops for at least a year, and that is menopause. So you're in perimenopause when you're still menstruating, and it can start as early as your late 30s or early 40s. I personally started to go through in my early 40s, even though menopause for me was not until I was 51. So everybody's going to be different. The average age for somebody to go through menopause is 51, about the time when their period stops is around that time, but you might be earlier and you might be later. I've had clients that have had still menstruating and had periods up until about 55. So, and some women go through, like I said, in their early 30s. So whether you're still busy now, the trick or the realization is that you really need to slow down and look at your stress levels and help your hormones, your adrenal glands and your thyroid gland start to replenish and heal, because they can't just keep pumping out all of these hormones to deal with all of the busyness and the stress that you've had over the years. And you can't expect your body to repay you with friendliness and good health because you've been pushing it too hard for too long. So some of the symptoms that you might be experiencing are things like anxiety, sleeplessness, maybe you're wired and tired and you're anxious all day and you're waking up feeling tired, and then at night time you just feel like you can't go to sleep. You might have brain fog, you might just feel depressed and irritated and moody and like you've got constant PMT, which is horrible. And then that might be that horrible midriff weight gain that so many women experience because of this high cortisol. All of this time has been leading up to this belly weight being stored around your midriff. And that is really hard to shift unless you shift your stress hormones and start repleting and managing your adrenal glands. And you might have mood swings and digestive issues and cravings for particular foods that you've never had before, which is probably driving you mad, because if you've never had it before, it's really hard when you're stressed and you're getting all these other symptoms to control this craving or these cravings. And one of the things that we need to look at, not only reducing stress, but is also reducing inflammation. So this can go a long way with the diet. You can help reduce inflammation in your body by having an anti-inflammatory diet and reducing all those processed foods, and really cutting out on the alcohol and caffeine, because this is going to only exacerbate your symptoms and also worsen this stress to the adrenal glands and the thyroid gland that have been happening all of these years because you've been so busy. And I have loads of tips and help that you can now access in my ebook, which is for free, and I'd love you to download and get started. This is all about what I've been talking about, how your adrenal glands can burn out and the signs and symptoms of this burnout. Even if you don't feel burnt out, you might feel anxious and wired and tired, but not completely burnt out. It's usually the adrenals and this low progesterone that are really causing a lot of these symptoms. So my Ditch Your Hormone Drama guide is actually tailored for you to learn about what is happening in your body and what you can do about it. I've got some great tips in there that I usually only share with my clients that are paying me, and I'd love you to download it now. If that doesn't suit you, I've got a webinar that you can watch that will go through all of these symptoms and the other hormones that are actually the worst culprits or the worst influences in your perimenopausal stages. Not only cortisol, but some other hormones as well, and what you can be doing, looking at your diet and your gut health and your environment also. So choose one of those freebies below, and I'd love to hear what you have to say. If you have any comments, then please comment below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love to have you subscribing to my channel, because I will be updating videos more often now, and I'd love to have your feedback. And if you really do want to just get stuck into it and you're so sick of your symptoms, then you can reach out and work with me also. I'll put my link for my website below also. So if you'd rather work with me one-on-one or go through my perimenopause program and just jump in because you just don't want to waste any more time guessing and not knowing what you should be doing, then you can do that too. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Kate Driver, and I would love you to have very happy, balanced hormones and a wonderful perimenopause and menopause. Thanks for listening. Bye.